Welcome back. Welcome back. You made Diamond K in here, of course, radioandfire.com, the Diamond K Show.com. And I have a lot to get into today. A lot to get into. So Donald Trump paid $3 million for a recount in 2 Wisconsin counties. He's not giving this thing up. He's not trying to concede. I mean, this thing is over. But the current president's campaign has paid this $3 million for a recount in 2 heavy Democratic Wisconsin counties, saying today that they were the site of the worst irregularities, although still no evidence of wrongdoing has been presented. The state elections officials said that nothing was done wrong. Trump paid for the recounts in Milwaukee and Dane counties yesterday and plans to submit the paperwork needed to trigger a recount today, the campaign said. In the 2 counties that Trump chose for the recount, Joe Biden received 577,455 votes compared to Donald Trump's 213,157. So statewide, Joe Biden won by over 20,000 votes. So the recount, once it is officially approved by the Elections Commission chair, could start as soon as tomorrow, no later than Saturday, and would have to be completed by December the 1st. So just so you can have some history here, recounts in Wisconsin and across the country have historically not changed votes, really. Very few votes. 2016 presidential recount in Wisconsin got Trump an additional 131 votes. So of course you know that that's not going to reverse anything. This whole exercise is embarrassing, as you've heard us say many times about the president. Embarrassing. Biden's transition is proceeding without Trump's assistance. Trump, of course, refusing to cooperate with Joe Biden's, transition. This is crazy. He is forcing President-elect Joe Biden to seek some very different workarounds, some kind of unusual workarounds to prepare for the public health threat that we are currently going through. This involves national security challenges that he's going to inherit. A lot of things going on, and you would think that the outgoing president would want to assist in this. You would think that he was a patriot, but of course he is not. So blocked from the official intelligence briefing traditionally given to an incoming president, Joe Biden has gathered virtually with a collection of intelligence, defense, and diplomatic experts. So he's not getting it from the official people, but some experts trying to prepare his strategies and the such. None of the experts are currently affiliated with the government. These are people that they've put together that are experts in these fields of intelligence, defense, and diplomacy, but not the actual government officials. This definitely raises a lot of questions about whether Biden is being provided the most up-to-date information. But this is the best that he can do right now. This is information about dangers facing America. So the current president, Donald Trump, thinks that in his infinite wisdom, clearly a lack of wisdom, thinks that the best idea for the country is to not prepare the incoming president at all. Now, I know some of you people are going to try to say that he thinks that he's still going to be the president. He's not. I just told you. You go back to 2016, Trump had a recount in Wisconsin. It got him an extra 131 votes. Biden is ahead in just that state alone by over 20,000 votes. The worst pandemic in a century is bearing down on this country. The world, it's bearing down on the world. And it's renewed ferocity bearing down on the country. Current administration hardly ever talks about the coronavirus. All that the Republicans right now can seem to talk about is Donald Trump and pacifying Donald Trump. What about Americans? The average American? What about them? What about the voters? Republicans don't seem to be concerned about us at all. So, current administration blocking Joe Biden from collaborating with the response team. Biden's representatives instead meeting directly with the pharmaceutical companies this week to determine how to distribute at least 2 of the promising vaccines to the hundreds of millions of Americans. This is a big logistical challenge. This is something that needs to be planned out. The distribution of the potential vaccines. I say that because how can you think that the current president gives a damn about Americans when he won't even let the incoming president see these things? It really shows how the Biden transition team is adjusting to the very tense relationship, tense transaction for this transition. No sign that Trump is going to facilitate soon the peaceful transfer of power. The same transfer of power that was given to him 4 short years ago. So Biden has declined to criticize Trump. He acknowledged that he has not been receiving the briefings that he would ordinarily have come by now. And he's having virtual meetings. He opened his virtual meeting with the national security experts. There were 12 participants who appeared on video screens, including the former deputy CIA director David Cohen, retired General Stanley McChrystal, and others. People that advised the Obama administration. And Biden said that he was preparing to inherit, obviously, a divided country and a world in disarray. Only took Donald Trump 4 years to muck this up. That's why I need you all, Joe Biden told the virtual 12 experts. We are weeks after the election now. Trump continues to block Biden's access to the administration's pandemic and national security briefings. He's still falsely claiming that Biden is not the legitimate president-elect. He's attempting to set a dangerous precedent. One that if candidates don't like the result of the election, that they can go through all this foolishness, start challenging the results when it's clear that they lost. That's not what we do here. That's not what we do. Why are we allowing this guy to do this? The Democratic candidate defeated the Republican president But Trump's failing legal strategy and trying to block the certification of the election results is quickly fizzling out. Then what is he going to do? What does he have planned next? Because after these attempts in court have all reached their conclusion, is he going to accept things then, or is he going to try something else? Or is he going to try something else? Trump, who has publicly refused to accept defeat, he's refused to accept defeat thus far. He would not like it. I mean, he would not be quiet if Hillary had done this to him. And he's losing by more than Hillary lost by. So we talked about this yesterday. Serious foreign conflicts are looming. Trump, for example, is expected to withdraw a significant number of troops from Afghanistan in the coming weeks. The NATO leader on Tuesday criticized the decision, warning that such a move could give terrorist groups an opening to organize attacks against the West. This could happen. This could happen. Then who's responsible for that? I mean, yes, we shouldn't be there in the first place. But now that we're there and we have brave men and women in harm's way, what is the proper way to remove them? And are we prepared for the reaction and the result of this reduction of troops? Are we going to turn right back around and pour more troops over there? These are some of the things that we're looking at. And with the very limited foreign policy experience that Donald Trump has and the lack of listening to the experts that he does normally, where does that leave Americans? Where does that leave Americans? Let's look at some of the comments here. Ann Crane on YouTube says, it's sad how this is playing out. It makes America look weak when you have someone like this in office accept defeat and move on. I could not agree with you more, Ann. He thinks that his refusal to accept the results makes him look strong, but it's quite the opposite. Trump's refusal to accept the results makes him look weak, makes him look like a sore loser, a crybaby, all the things that he is, but it just makes it more clear how weak he is. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. So we're talking about COVID-19. We're talking about possible vaccines. Pfizer's COVID-19 shot is 95% effective, and it is seeking clearance soon. The company said today that new test results show that its vaccine is pretty effective, 95% effective, is safe, and also protects older people who are most at risk of dying. The last data needed to seek emergency use of limited shot supplies as this outbreak worsens across the globe. So the companies have also begun to roll out what they call rolling submissions for the vaccine with regulators in Europe, UK, and Canada, and soon will add to this new data. I mean, it's early. I guess my concern is, what are the long-term ramifications of the vaccine? It's been so fast that we don't really know that part yet. And I don't know if I've heard people talk about it. Saying that it's safe is one thing, but what are the long-term ramifications? That part is important to know. So initial supplies will be scarce and rationed as the supply grows. Companies are going to have a responsibility to help ensure access for lower income people, lower income countries. This is a worldwide pandemic. So Pfizer says that they expect to produce up to 50 million vaccine doses globally in 2020 and up to 1.3 billion doses in 2021. This according to the Associated Press. So a vaccine is in the horizon. A vaccine is coming, but not quite here yet. Not quite here yet. Very interesting. What will it take for you to take this vaccine? I asked my parents that. What will it take for you to take the vaccine? Will you take the vaccine? That is a question that is on the minds of many people. Questions on the minds of many people. Of course, just tune in. Jermaine Diamond K in here, the DiamondKShow.com, radioonfire.com. So a federal judge dismisses this lawsuit that was challenging Maryland Governor Larry Hogan's stay-home order. What are we talking about? So today, a federal judge dismissed the lawsuit that was filed back in May. This lawsuit alleged that Governor Larry Hogan's stay-home order, which he issued during the first wave of the coronavirus in Maryland, was unconstitutional. Yeah, some idiot, a plaintiff. The plaintiffs included Republican Delegate Dan Cox, Neil Parrott, and Warren Miller. And they alleged that the governor's orders violated the First, Fifth, and 14th Amendments. Can you believe this? This is the kind of logic that puzzles me. So the constitutional guarantee of a Republican form of government and the Commerce Clause, in addition to rights protected by the state constitution. Yeah, they tried it. They tried it. Reasonable people, including informed government and public health officials, may debate whether the governor's orders at any moment go too far or not far enough in protecting the public from this deadly pandemic, Judge Catherine Blake wrote. But based on the allegations in the plaintiff's amended complaint, the court cannot conclude that Governor Hogan's measures are arbitrary or unreasonable, or that they plainly violate any of the plaintiff's constitutional rights. Oh, yes, in your face, Republicans. Well, Larry Hogan's a Republican as well, but so in May, the judge denied the plaintiff's preliminary injunction. So they, tried to amend it, but still no go. I mean, anybody that thinks that stay-home orders or face covering rulings, or anything like that violates their constitutional rights, that is such a stretch. That is so crazy. It's crazy talk. It's crazy talk. The judge also dismissed that claims of lost revenue by destinations affected by a stay-home order did not constitute actionable violations of the Fifth Amendment's takings clause. That's crazy that they think that. It is crazy. We are going through a worldwide pandemic. And you still have some people out here that thinks that closing businesses to prevent this virus from spreading further, they think somehow they have some legal justification to not close. Your clients, your potential customers are not coming out because they're scared of getting the virus. And if you don't have sense enough to close your business because of your health, you can't let the greed. It's so greedy to think, you're choosing this potential business that's not going to come because people are scared to death. This potential business over your life. What kind of foolishness is this? Of course, this ruling comes the day after Governor Larry Hogan of Maryland announced returned restrictions on occupancy at stores, houses of worship, and other establishments effective Friday evening. He also ordered bars and restaurants to close by 10 p.m. nightly starting Friday, 5 p.m. I see nothing wrong with this considering how things are going right now. There is a bright spot around the corner, potentially. Maybe we'll get a handle on this thing, but we don't have a handle on it right now. It's getting worse. It's getting worse around the country. And the fact that the powers that be, the president and all of his men and women are not talking about this enough is disturbing. Hospitals around the country are overwhelmed with virus cases. Maybe wherever you are, it's not as bad. But hospitals are converting chapels, cafeterias, waiting rooms, hallways, and in some instances, even parking garage into patient treatment areas. Everywhere is not a big city with a big hospital. Staff members are desperately calling around to other medical centers in search of open beds. Oh, it's getting serious. It's getting serious. So when I hear about these Republicans talking about our rights, you're violating our rights, man. What are you talking about? Fatigue, frustration, all of these kind of things are setting in among the frontline workers. These are our first responders. Conditions inside the nation's hospitals are deteriorating by the day as the coronavirus rages across the country. The pace has sped up. Confirmed deaths in America have passed 250,000. When are people going to wake up? When are people going to wake up? Allison Johnson, director of critical care at Johnson City Medical Center in Tennessee, added that she drives to and from work some days in tears. She said that these medical professionals are depressed, disheartened, and tired to the bone. The number of people in the hospital with COVID-19 in the United States has doubled in the past month. Has doubled. And unfortunately, new records are being set every day this week. Every day this week, new records being set. This is not where we want to be. This is not where we need to be. As a country, we are in trouble. As a country, we are in trouble. The presidency of Joe Biden cannot start fast enough. And I say this because we need serious national strategies to combat this virus. We need serious national strategies. Shemaine Diamond K, Radio on Fire. Stay tuned. And we are back. Your man Diamond K in here, radioonfire.com, the Diamond K Show.com. So a man was arrested for beating a woman he met on Hinge. He said that the date cost too much. Ben Francher was arrested yesterday after he allegedly beat this woman that he met on this dating app called Hinge. So Brittany, she said that she met Ben Francher in Atlanta last week after matching with him on this dating app. And she said that, the date was going well early on. Said that she felt that they connected. Said that he made her feel comfortable. She told WASB TV in Atlanta that he was a super nice guy. Very nice. They were laughing throughout the whole night. Just having a great time. That's what she said. Later on, however, she said that Francher became angry. Actually, she used the word enraged, that she danced with two black women while they were at the club. And you've seen this happen. Ladies get into the moment and they dance with each other. Yeah, it's nice to look at. However, this guy got super pissed off. She added that Francher called her the N-word. And she said that she picked the wrong white boy as he began physically assaulting her and eventually pulled a gun on her. What song was playing? He started beating me in my head, punching me everywhere. My forehead, my temples, my cheeks, jaws, throat, my arm, my back, she said. He was just telling me that the date cost too much and I'm not worth that, she said. So she says that the assault stopped when a female security guard spotted the violence and started taking pictures of the incident while it was happening. Later shared her experience and photos of her injuries on IG. So police captured Francher yesterday and charged him with kidnapping, false imprisonment, aggravated assault. Hinge responded to her story and said that they would cooperate with law enforcement. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is it's a sad story. The violence that she describes is horrible and is something no one should ever have to experience, the company said. Our moderators reviewed this report and immediately removed and banned the individual from our community. Well, if you're like me, you don't know what Hinge even is. What's really going on? Ladies, you got to be careful. Got to be careful. I mean, not to mention that this idiot guy could have missed out on a potential four-way. But it is a dating app, and it is Hinge, but it's geared more towards long-term relationships. And it's something like Tinder. So it's something like that. But yeah, it is it's I guess you have to be mindful going on dates and chasing during the pandemic is kind of you might get the bottom of the barrel during the pandemic. I'm just saying. It is a pandemic going on. How much do you think that the waitress got tipped? She probably didn't get tipped. If he thought that the date was too much, he probably didn't tip. This is definitely foul, but it just seems like something's missing. Like dancing, some girls dancing, and him beating her down. What is missing from this story? I don't know. Something seems weird about this story. We've been talking about the election, special election that's coming up January the 5th in Georgia. Super important that you get involved.
I'm John Ossoff. Truth is, corruption in Washington has infected both parties. They're too busy serving lobbyists to serve us. I'll ban corporate political donations and secret corporate money in politics, and I'll crack down on price gouging by health insurance and drug companies who use that money to buy off Congress. We're all in this together. Together we can end the corruption and make healthcare affordable. Fighting corruption is my job, and that's why I approve this message.
From the day we started this campaign, we made it a priority to talk to Georgians wherever you live.
Rep. Warnock, so good to see you again.
Thank you so much for doing this. So excited about your campaign.
Georgia needs a senator who will stand up for health care, who will stand up for Medicare, who will stand up for our children. We need leaders who will not forget who sent them there in the first place.
I think he'll stand up for me.
We already voted for you.
I think he'll stand up for everybody in Georgia.
Augusta, Savannah, Valdosta, Columbus. They may be miles apart on a map, but the challenges we face are quite the same.
We're completely behind you.
Thank you so much for running.
It's not about him. It's all about the people.
If you elect me the next United States Senator from the state of Georgia, your agenda will be my agenda.
Raphael Warnock will practice what he preaches. We're not getting that now.
I'm Raphael Warnock, and I approve this message.
Hey, well, I'm going to work hard for you, all right?
So we've been talking about this. Trump, his efforts getting nowhere in the courts. Donald Trump's scattershot attempt to overturn President-elect Joe Biden's victory has shifted towards obscure election boards that certify the vote as Trump and his cronies seek to append the electoral process. So chaos and, perpetrate just this doubt about the count. His attempt is centered around the battleground states that sealed the victory for Joe Biden. So in Michigan, 2 Republican election officials in the state's largest county, initially refused to certify the results despite no evidence of fraud. No evidence at all. But 2 Michigan Republican election officials in this large county thought that they could just do things the way they wanted to do them. Like I said, no evidence of fraud at all. In Arizona, officials are making an issue at signing off on vote tallies in a rural county. Oh, they're trying to do it, but there's nothing there. The moves do not reflect a coordinated effort across the battleground states that broke for Joe Biden. Local election officials seem to be inspired by Trump's rhetoric about his baseless claims of fraud. They seem to be inspired by that, driven, in fact. But what happened in Wayne County, Michigan yesterday was a jarring reminder of the disruptions that can still be caused as America works through the process of affirming the outcome of the November 3rd election. I mean, we still are in the final stages of this thing. There's no precedent for this Trump lackeys and Trump's efforts to delay or undermine certification. There's no precedent for this. If they're allowed to do this, this is the end of democracy as we know it. This is not something that can happen. It is not something that can happen. So as Trump continues to refuse to concede to Joe Biden and continues to spread false claims of victory, Donald Trump has not won anything. This is a travesty. So statewide certification is going to happen, and eventually this ordeal is going to come to a close. Eventually, Donald Trump is going to be remembered as exactly what he is: a disgrace. Donald Trump is a disgrace. The way he's behaving is disgraceful. Just tune in. Shemaine Diamond K at the Diamond K Show at Radio on Fire. All right, and we're back. Your man Diamond K in here. So President-elect Joe Biden, Medicare is something that I am sure is on his plate, something that he has a plan for. What would Joe Biden do if he's able to pass his plans for Medicare? What does he want to do? He wants to lower drug prices, open up some kind of negotiation. In his plan for older Americans, Joe Biden intends to repeal a law that is responsible for prohibiting the Health and Human Services Department from negotiating lower drug prices with these corporations, these pharmacy giants. Medicare already negotiates pricing with hospitals and other healthcare providers. This already happens. So the outrageous price increases of both specialized drugs and broadly used necessities like insulin will keep happening unless we make smart rules, unless you prevent them from doing that. And it is long overdue that Americans get protections like that. You have to make sure that reasonable prices persist, you have to do that. So you definitely want to peg prices to inflation. Biden's plan also includes limiting price increase for all brand, biotech, and abusively priced generic drugs to inflation. These companies exceed inflation when increasing prices, go well beyond what things actually cost in the time that we're in. So under Joe Biden's plan, when they do that, they would face a tax penalty. So economically, the Biden plan wants to make Medicare more sustainable so that its annual cost increases more closely mirror inflation. That's what they want to do. They also want to improve the supply of generic drugs. So non-brand name drugs, we also call them generic, would receive a boost under Biden's plan. And they would work to improve the availability of safe generic drugs, which to help reduce healthcare costs, hopefully, they plan to remove some of the roadblocks that keep the generic versions of drugs from coming to the market sooner. Make it easier for generic manufacturers to get samples of brand name drugs. All of these things are going to potentially bring costs down. They also want to lower the eligibility age. Medicare currently enrolls more than 60 million Americans, including retirees and people with disabilities. Biden wants to increase those numbers by lowering the Medicare enrollment age to 60. Right now it is 65. He wants to lower that to 60 years of age. So the move would also add up to 23 million people to Medicare. I mean, these are significant changes. These are significant changes. And these are just some of the things that the Biden administration wants to do. And we just talked a little bit about that healthcare policy that Joe Biden has and some of the ways that he wants to change Medicare. So as you know, the Biden administration is attempting to move forward, attempting to they're taking a lot of unconventional methods. Taking a lot of unconventional methods to get where they need to go. And I think that that's important. So tomorrow is the versus battle. That's where tomorrow it is. Gucci Mane, Young Jeezy. I am really looking forward to this one. Gucci versus Jeezy. Something that I never thought that we'd see. But the versus battle, a cultural celebration live from Atlanta, one night only, November the 19th. You can watch it on Apple Music in HD. Watch it on Instagram. Drinks by Ciroc. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking about that immediately following. It's going to be crazy. This is definitely going down in the history books. A lot of, I hate to say bad blood, but there's a lot of energy there. It's a lot of energy there. Wondering whether they're going to be in the same place. Wonder if they're going to be in the same place. This is much better than what was initially thought. The T.I. and Jeezy. It would have been cool, but Gucci and Jeezy, much better. Who do you have? Who do you have on this one? Who's going to win this one? I don't know. I don't know. There's so much classic Southern hip hop coming from these two artists right here. Coming from these two artists. It is I didn't, there's a meme floating around that go dig your partner up meme. I don't know why. I don't know why he did that, or maybe he did that to pump up the views or to get get things going. But people already were excited about this. People were already excited about it. Gucci Mane, Jeezy versus tomorrow. We're going to be talking about that. And I don't know who, but there are going to be some fireworks tomorrow, and it is not the 4th of July, and it's not New Year's Eve. I'm assuming that they are former adversaries. Maybe I'm assuming that they are just trying to get this thing, lit, and it is already lit. So flyers have been floating around for the official after party at Compound in Atlanta. Compound probably has the best parties in the city. It's crazy, and that's a great spot to have it at. So potentially confirmed. How do you say potentially and confirmed together? Jeezy and Gucci indeed in the same room, at least once the versus battle is over. They are calling this the Atlanta Super Bowl. And the homie AG, Alex Gideon Entertainment, has tables, tickets, 404-400-5061 if you want tickets to the official after party for the Super Bowl of the South. Gucci Mane, Young Jeezy, Compound, Atlanta, tomorrow. But as I said, we're going to be talking about this immediately following versus. I don't know which way it goes. I don't know which way it goes. So, just tuning in, Diamond K in here. RadioFire.com, the DiamondKShow.com. I have a special guest that is going to be joining me after this break. And we're going to chop it up with BlackMagik Shorty Nard. BlackMagik Nard. Let's do this. Let's go to a break. And I see him backstage. Let's go to a break. And we're going to come back with my guest after this.
It's troops up, boy. Ooh, babe.
Yo. BlackMagik Shorty, nigga. Something like Look, capture the people like I'm shooting in HD. Yeah. Headshots clean like we filming in 4K. Seen this shit get dark in the middle of broad day. Witnessed the robbery at the bank off of Eastern and Broadway. My hood was a live set with coke out the Pyrex. Dealer sales straight to consumer, this shit was direct. No, out of the project, shit you couldn't have processed. My nigga got shot 8 times and he ain't died yet. Said he keep a pair of lawyers, cause when he see them niggas shadow, he gon' shoot cause he still suffering from paranoia. know your old Mac, still in my lap. Selling crack out the gold act, still in my raps. You know it's fact, never told Jack. Shot from the straps, you hold that. Never hold back, if Nard don't know, you get no dap. Infamous dude, a gangster with a gentleman move. Confused, got him shook, stuck in the continuous rules. The weather, leave him cursed flat on their back. For some cheese, that metal could snap his neck like a rat on the trap. I know the game's all chaos, but I never take a day off. You got shooters, I got shooters, let's have a spray. Let's do it. Infrared on the AR with a scope on the Nina. Had them killers at your door like you got a subpoena. Fucking 30 city tour, I'm trying to buy the arena. Paid in full like Ace coming out of the cleaners. 7:30 in the BM, double look when they see him. My face called good, so they shooting shots in the DM. BlackMagik breath cause I'm off limits. But authentic, know it's real, but ain't nobody speaking until the bar's finished.
Bar's finished, nigga. Yeah. The infamous nigga. BlackMagik Shorty. And niggas know what I do, nigga. Right.
And we are back. You man, Diamond K in here, radioonfire.com, thediamondkshow.com. So I am joined by BlackMagik Music Group's own, the infamous Shorty. What's going on, man? I cannot hear you. You got your audio on? You can hear me? Okay, I cannot hear you. Let's see here. Let's see what's going on. So you can hear me. We cannot hear you. All right, let's see if we can get that together. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me fine. All right, so do this. Introduce yourself to the people that may not know you.
It's on all platforms, streaming everywhere. Go get that. You feel me? Go listening to that. We also got the 7:30 freestyle that's out on YouTube. You go check that out. Shop out my man A, Troops Up TV. You feel me? We out here working.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's go back to the beginning. Where'd you grow up at?
Well, I grew up here in Baltimore City. You feel me? Over west.
Okay.
Yeah, but Nard grew up down Perkins Projects. He'll get into that as soon as he get in here.
Yep. I feel you. And so as far as the label goes, like how did things start?
Well, I originally was working with DJ Patrick, and
okay,
then, we was working together, and then once we went our separate ways, I thought about doing my own label. So at that time, it was just like, why not do it instead of just talking about it? And the reason why I came up with Nappy Beard Records is because everybody had either trying to grow a beard or whatever, but Nappy Beard Records speaks in the purity of the form of nappy. It talks about our roots. It's about talking about where we not come from, but it's letting you know that I agree. I'm not agree with you, but I'm 100% with the artists on what they coming with.
Yeah. So as far as new signees, are y'all looking for people, or do you already have a squad that you need together?
We definitely we got our own squad right now. We're not trying to bring too many people in unless they're trying to actually move and work, because where I'm at with it in my life, or it was as far as the label, I done already work with artists that just quit on me while we're in the middle of doing something. I can't deal with that. So if we're gonna bring anybody in, they have to be 100% dedicated and motivated by this music. Like, they can't just be wanting to do it because right now it's the fad, it's the thing to do.
So you've experienced that artists that weren't ready to put in the work, thinking that it's just going to happen overnight.
You feel me? You telling them, man, look, you need to post this, because I'm reaching out to different people and they asking me, well, where's this content? Or well, where's this at? And where's this at? And I'm sitting here looking crazy because I can't give them what you supposed to be putting out. I can only do but so much as a manager and as a label owner.
So how many artists are you working with right now?
Solely my main artist is BlackMagik Nard, but we also have other artists in the loop like Azir. We also have Ville. So we have multiple artists that we have in our camp that we work with that, you know, give us our variety of sounds as well.
Yeah. No, it is it's important to have, like you said, artists in the pipeline. And you know, when you work with one artist and then have the next artist ready to go, and you kind of just keep that train rolling. So as far as the pandemic is going on, and did that affect what you had in store for 2020?
Man, it affected a lot of 2020, man. Last year we was in New York. As a matter of fact, we was in Harlem. We did the DJ Absolute showcase. It was in August, and we did pretty good with that. Met some people. We networked. And 2020 was supposed to we keep going. But when March hit and that pandemic hit, it was a wrap. It wrapped us up. But this now we ain't pandemicing no more. We reaching out. We ready to go. We ready to hit the move.
Yeah. No, I feel you. So as far as 2021, what is in store for the label?
Well, as far as the label itself, I want to definitely put it more outside, like bring it more out into the open for people to, you know what it is, who we are, and what we are about. I also have a compilation I'm putting together. It's called Baltimore versus Everybody. I'm gonna have a couple of artists from Baltimore, and I'm gonna have them all come together. It's gonna probably be like a 7 to 10 track project, and we're gonna get on there and we're gonna really put in work. And this project is gonna be one of those projects. It's like I want it to be like my NWA, whereas though you can't get on here if you ain't hot. Like, you see what I'm saying? This is a representation of Baltimore. They don't give us no spotlight. They don't give us nothing. So we gotta go out here and take it.
You feel that Baltimore is slept on?
I definitely feel like Baltimore is one of the most slept on cities as far as talent, because of the simple fact we are Baltimore. Like, it is what it is. Like, you're not just gonna come here and think you're just gonna do whatever you're gonna do, and then it is what it is. But at the same time, being from here, it's kind of hard to leave or be able to do your thing and spread your wings too much. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's kind of like you feel like you gotta be gifted to leave here.
Why do you think it's so hard coming from Baltimore?
Because if you don't have that struggle, if you don't got that grit, that grind, you're just not gonna make it. And at the same time, I honestly feel like, you know, people from the industry, they don't want to take that risk. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to take that risk of, you know, getting an artist from Baltimore and then, you know, they got that one hot song and then that's that. You don't hear from them no more.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of labels, and artists that I've seen over the years to come up out of the city of Baltimore, when they get to that next level, quote unquote, where maybe they're dealing with a major or a mini major label, they usually don't know how to market an artist from Baltimore.
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why I want my label to be a standpoint, a staple in this city, because I know what y'all need. I know what y'all want. I know artists from Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. I lived here. I mean, I'm from here. This is my city. Like, from all over. I lived over west. I lived over east.
Absolutely. So, as far as if you could compare the label, your vision for the label to a label that people already know, what label would that be closest? I know it's not going to be identical, but what's the closest match to what you have in mind?
All right. So that's a good question. When I first started Nappy Bear Records, I thought of it as an aspect of family. You know, we can come together, we can make good music, and at the same time, this is a business. When I first thought about it, it was like a split between So Def and Bad Boy. So it's like right in that middle. Like, cause you know how Bad Boy, you know, they was a family. They was thick as thieves, and so was So Def. And then like the music that came out of both camps was just crazy. So
absolutely,
that's where I'm at with it.
What, as far as you know, aside from the fact that Baltimore does kind of get the cold shoulder from the industry as a whole, is there anybody that's come up from Baltimore or artists or camps in Baltimore that you have you know, respect for?
I have
love for.
I have respect for all artists that's trying to make it out of Baltimore, period, because this shit just ain't easy. It's hard. You get what I'm saying? And anybody that has made it, like Izzy, you feel me, or Moose that's out here making it, you feel what I'm saying, or Tech that's out here getting it, you feel me? Everybody that's out here really trying to make it, I salute them, because you giving us that flashlight. It might not be a whole spotlight, but you giving us that flashlight the way the industry like, oh, did you see that light over there from Baltimore? Or they hey, they doing their thing a little bit. We might want to tap in. But my thing is, when we come out or when we doing our thing, I wanted to be like, damn, I should have started messing with them, or we should have been tapped in with Baltimore. Because at this point, it's gonna be like, yo, y'all too late. The check done went up. Y'all gonna have to pause.
The prices have gone up.
Went up, B.
What? Throw you a curveball for a second. What are your thoughts on voting and the election?
So, I definitely voted. Let me just get that out there. And as far as the election, see, I was in the military, so my opinion as far as, you know, politics and religion may be a little different from everybody else's. So coming from the Marine Corps, I see government and I see civilian life two different ways. You see what I'm saying? So as far as the government wise, do I trust it? No, because I've seen and it showed me ways where it's not trustworthy and it can't be, you know, all the way, you know, trustworthy itself versus, but at the same time, if you want change, if you want to make change, you have to do the things to make those things happen. You have to vote. You have to do the things in order. You can't just sit by the sidelines and be like, oh, this is just crazy, or things got to change. You got to get out there and be active. It might not change today. It might not change 5 years from now, but at least you can say, well, you know what? I tried. You feel what I'm saying? So as far as voting, I feel like, yo, if you're going to vote, you got to, if you want to vote, if you want to see a change, go vote. Do that. That's important. Like I voted when Obama first came into office, like in 2008. And then that December, I was in the Marine Corps. So it changed my life.
Yeah, so that's good. So you have definitely had a different perspective being a part of the armed forces. You know what I mean? That's what's up. Definitely again, tell people the name of the company.
The company name is Nappy Bear Records. You feel me? Based out of Baltimore. Now, number one priority is giving the people what they want to hear, man. Hey, we know what y'all want to hear. We've been here for years. We know what y'all want to hear. We know what y'all like to listen to. Nappy Bear Records, man. I'm telling you, it's a household name. Like my man said, it's guaranteed. It's like Pepsi. It's a household name, man. I guarantee it.
That's a big statement. Let's do this. We'll go to a break. We'll play this song again and come back, and hopefully he'll be here. All right.
Back.
Stay tuned.
It's troops up, boy. Troops up, boy. Ooh, babe.
Yo. BlackMagik Shorty, nigga. Something like capture the people like I'm shooting in HD. Yeah. Headshots clean like we filming in 4K. Seen this shit get dark in the middle of broad day. Witnessed the robbery at the bank off of Eastern and Broadway. My hood was a live set with coke out the Pyrex. Dealer sales straight to consumer. This shit was direct. No out of the project. Shit you couldn't have processed. My nigga got shot 8 times and he ain't died yet. Said he keep a pair of lawyers. Cause when he see them niggas shadow, he gon' shoot cause he still suffering from paranoia. Old Mac, still in my lap. Selling crack out the gold act. Still in my raps, you know it's fact. Never told Jack, shot from the straps. You hold that, never hold back. If Nard don't know, you get no dab. Infamous dude, a gangster with a gentleman move. Confused, got him shook, stuck in the continuous rules. The wizard. Leave him cursed flat on their back. For some cheese, that metal could snap his neck like a rat on a trap. I know the game's all chaos, but I never take a day off. You got shooters, I got shooters, let's have a spray. Let's do it. Infrared on the AR with a scope on the Nina. Got killers at your door like you got a subpoena. Fucking 30 city tour, I'm trying to buy the arena. Paid in full like Ace coming out of the cleaners. 7:30 in the BM, double look when they see him. My face called good, so they shooting shots in the DM. Black breath cause I'm off limits. But authentic, know it's real, well ain't nobody speaking until the bar's finished.
Bar's finished, nigga. Yeah. The infamous nigga. BlackMagik Shorty. And niggas know what I do, nigga. Right.
All right, and we're back, Do this. Shout out social media real quick for people.
All right. My social medias is Instagram. You can catch me on Baltimore_Dev. The record label is Nappy Bed Records, straight like that. Facebook is you ain't get my Facebook, but yeah.
I got you on that. So we're gonna I'm gonna go to another song and then we're gonna come back. Okay. Tune into the Diamond K Show, y'all. Stay tuned.
Right. Yeah. Oh. We might just get hit with the Rico. The legendary Diamond K. They call me Mike Even. That's good enough for now. Look. A nice guy, but a savage within. I spent nights at home trying to battle the gin. Say a prayer once I get off the mattress and then I Joe button up the shirt and go back to sin. Strippers and good drinks, I'm an addict for them. I'm being honest with myself, I don't have to pretend. He back at it again, start tagging a friend. He won't wait like yoga mats in the back of the gym. A lot of motherfuckers wanna act like your friend. Pay attention to the ones that don't clap when you win. I feel like Drake does with all of this fake love, and I think to myself, damn, all that from a pen. They saying that the kid is next. I got my phone charged up, ready for the hey big kid text. I heard people switch up when you hit success. It's getting different now when I ain't even get there yet. You wanna be paid in full, but be careful, you might just get hit with that Rico. Cause every smile in your face don't mean it's your ace. Niggas be smiling, thinking about taking your place. They can't match my drive, got a license to kill. As soon as I hear the beat, I start writing the wheel. Words flying over heads, I might write with the quill. From daylight to late night, I got my sights on the mill. And every time I hear Meek Millie, I think of Scooter and Lil Snoop. Wish they would've left the hood sooner, but niggas shoot. I hate it when you about to be on. So you already know they wanna holler the dawn. And that's what I don't get about foes. How you say you love God and then go and hate the one that he chose. Ready to blow, and I was right under your nose. Phone been ringing, now labels wanna propose. Javon Ben knew I was ready before I did. Dream chasing, I seen laces behind my eyelids. I don't need no magazine to say what the vibe is. Nah kid, I try to be modest, but I gotta be honest. I'm hot and I'm coming for mine. Who care if the house full when you one of a kind? I get the shitting on these niggas and roll flushing. My niggas is tour busting, your niggas is short busting. But I ain't in no race, let me relay that. I'm in the kitchen, busy whipping the DJ crack. Spit a verse to make a nigga say replay that. And see my video like I ain't know the D-Ray rap. If Sway don't call, I'm going to Heather B. DMs from the Prince to the DMV. You know Cougars love a cool cat. I know how to help Stella get a groove back. You better hope I don't never meet her if you're hurting your wife. Cause she coming for the pipe and a word of advice. And when you don't show, I got whipped cream, so it's looking like we both gonna deserve it tonight. Time behind these bars I've been serving for life. Delivery got me feeling like a server tonight. I'm too fly to worry about the turbulence like I might just go hit Puerto Rico. Man, it's been calling my name, trying to get like old Brooklyn, go off of the chain. On Google Translate, learning all of the slang, became Rico Suave, jumping off of the plane. Play your cards, you could be the uno. Quiero, mami culo, one papi chulo. Ahora, I show what the Chico does. Let me turn the lights on, give it that Rico love. They don't know, habla poquito. All I heard was Pop P and some K Ricos. Pablo Esco, Yeezy and Nas. Mix that and get it even the odds. They looking at the boy like they seen a mirage. I'ma keep going even though he cutting me off. Pause, I heard niggas say they want me go hard. So I ain't gonna sing shit, give them nothing but bars. This shit is jaw dropping like boxing Bernard Hopkins. They all watching, raising the bar and I'm ball hopping. And some of y'all thought that a nigga was all talk. Now my team Paul Block, that mean that we mall copy. Get the fuck out of here, man. Fuck you mean? Diamond K album on the way. I'm gonna let you know when it's coming. Mike Even.
And we are back. You may Diamond K in here, the DiamondKShow.com, radioonfire.com. So LaMelo Ball drafted number 3 overall by the Charlotte Hornets. Interesting. Of course, Michael Jordan, the owner, has big interest in LaMelo Ball. So when the Timberwolves passed up the I'm just it's crazy. I'm reading this, and I predicted something would happen, not this exactly, but it's interesting. He fell right into the lap of the Hornets at number 3 overall. His basketball journey has been very unorthodox, but Ball's the youngest member, has all the tools to become an impact player. So we're going to talk about that on Monday as we get to the sports show Monday. Ball also comes into the Charlotte situation with some name recognition and star potential to fill the void that was left by Kemba when he left the Hornets to join the Celtics. So that is interesting. And so let's get back to our guest here. All right.
Real quick.
All right. What's going on?
What's going on, man?
All right. Again, let people know who's on the line.
All right. Well, hey, man, I'm gonna introduce y'all, man. This BlackMagik Nard, you feel me? Always imitated, never, ever, and will never be duplicated, man. You feel me? It's the infamous. You heard me?
Yes, sir. BlackMagik Shorty in the flesh, man. What's good?
What's going on? For people that don't know, where'd you grow up? What area did you grow up in?
I grew up in East Baltimore, raised in, born and raised in the southeast side in the Perkins Projects. If you ever heard, if you're familiar, if you're from Baltimore, you definitely know what that is. If you don't, you can't be from here.
So what as far as the early days, what's some of the early music memories that you have? What were y'all listening to around the house coming up?
So like my brother and sister, like my mom and dad was music fanatics. My mom still had like crates of 45s, like a vinyl,
Okay.
So I grew up on a whole bunch of 70s soul music, but just every day, my brother and sister, they was music kids. I grew up on Mobb Deep. I had Survival of the Fittest, the cassette, the tape, just the single, when it came out. I remember when the double disc came out, Life at the Death. Me and my god brother used to sit on the porch and listen to that all night. You know what I mean? All Eyes on Me. Like my sister had all of the Mary J albums. So, I grew up on all 90s R&B, and hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So as far as the influence that had on you, what do you listen to now? Aside from yourself.
Right. Well, I actually still do dig back into, listening to those records, like 90s music. Like I still go back and listen to like old school R&B and stuff when I feel like I want to be inspired. But now, like in today's music, I don't really have a lot. I do like Future, as far as like trap wave stuff. I do listen to Jeezy. I listen to the usual suspects, Ross, Jay, Meek, the guys that's relevant, that's been making good music for a while. I try to stay in tune with what's going on.
Yeah. So as far as going from being a fan of music to an artist, how did that transition happen? How did you become the infamous?
Well, that's a good question. I've been a musician, like all my life, kind of, because I grew up playing instruments in my church. Like I was in my church band. Me and my cousin played organ, and I played drums. And like a few years later, he taught me, things on the keys and stuff like that. But I didn't actually start rapping, like writing raps, until I was about like maybe like 13 or 14. And my man right here that just my man Azir, he probably already introduced himself. This was the first person that I actually sat down and wrote a verse with, you know. And he was one of the first people that I made the transition from like being a musician, you know, to actually being a rapper.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what kind of reaction did you get from family and friends when they found out that you were taking music serious and you wanted to release music yourself?
You said what did like how was my family?
Yeah, like some people get a negative reaction. Some people get the positive energy and people pushing them. Like what was the reaction from your family and friends?
Well, I mean, from like my friends, like the people that was around, they, you know, they always felt like yo, I feel like you good enough, you know, to make it. Like, you know, you can rap good. Like my family, you know, like a lot of times with family, man, like they take a little bit more, you know, to make a believer. You know, it's like
Yeah.
let them hear stuff and you know, they're like, oh, all right, I hear you, I see what you're doing, but you know, until you really start like you know, making noise. Like when I first put, you know, like one of my first songs on like the streaming platform and I let my, you know, my mother see it, like, you know, that's when she kind of was like, okay, that's I can go listen to that on Spotify. I can go and I'm like, yeah, man, you know, it's real. Or when I pulled up YouTube, you know, and showed her an actual video of me like rapping and you know, it was more realistic, like
They gotta see it now.
you know, yeah. So I would be, you know, I would be in the house, you know, working on music, and she would hear me in the basement doing stuff. But you know, she just think I'm down there just, you know, doing anything. But you know, so she started to see, you know, see the product and actually seeing things on YouTube, you know, and hearing other people talk about it, like, hey, you know, your son, he, you know, I listen to his music, he good, you know. Then you know a lot of them became believers like after that from hearing it from other people. Most of the time that's how it is, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That word of mouth is super important. You know, we were talking before you got on about the pandemic and how has this COVID-19 thing, how has it affected your plans musically for 2020?
I say, man, it really just it held up a lot of like yeah, just basically movement as far as like getting out and being able to network and performances, like you know, actually getting in front of the people, you know, and performing the music because I feel like people attention span nowadays is real short. So like
Yeah.
people listen to music, but it's like if they don't really know who you are or they already tuned in, like they really not trying to, you know, hear too much. But with shows, it's different. You know, a person, people come and hear you perform, you know, or see you live in person, the energy is different. So you can create a lot of fans, you know, just by doing shows a lot of times because people can get in tune with the energy that you know, that you bring to the stage. So it made that difficult, you know, just being in touch with, you know, the people and stuff like that. But just me, as far as creating music, I don't feel like it really held anything up, you know, because me and my team, like everything is in house, you know, so we write, record, you know, produce and do everything, you know, on our own. So it didn't hold up any of that, but just you know, networking and doing shows and performances and you know, just moving around and stuff. It affected that.
And that's it. And that's good. You know, a lot of people don't have the benefit of being in house like that. They got to book time and go places, and they were just, you know, at a standstill. So it is good that you were able to still you know, keep that moving. As far as 2021, what do you have on deck? What can people expect from you?
Man, we got a ton of things in the works, man. I don't want to give too much of it away, but we actually just had a meeting, you know, earlier today about, you know, my debut album. It's gonna be I don't want to put a date on it, but I want to say sometime spring 2021. It's gonna be called Reflections, the album. I got a couple of mixtapes and stuff that's coming the end of this year. We're gonna try to finish out the year strong. Couple of videos. My man Dev here. We working on a compilation called Baltimore versus Everybody. Definitely stay in tune. You know, we working on it. That's coming too. My man Azir got another project coming, man. Sometime in 2021. You know, we just trying to map it all. You know, just trying to map it all out, man. But it's exciting though. You know, for the people that's in tune and paying attention to what we doing, like, man, just stay patient. You know, the city about to get took in a minute. Just, you know, hold your britches. We coming to the rescue.
That's good. I like to hear. I like when people talk like that. And you said finish the year strong. That is super important. Let me ask you this. Tomorrow, Gucci versus Young Jeezy. Who you got on that one?
Man,
Gucci Mane, Young Jeezy.
Only thing I can say is that's gonna be a tough one, man.
Definitely,
man. But I probably, if I had to bet on it, I would probably have to go with Jeezy. This the only reason why I say I go with Jeezy, because I feel like Jeezy had a longer run as far as like consistently dropping like good music and like singles, and you know, a lot of commercial. He had a lot of commercial success. He had a run with that. Like Gucci had a lot of problems because, you know, he had a lot of legal problems. He was going back and forth to jail. You know, he just had a lot of stuff going on. So I feel like a lot of them things, you know, stopped his consistency as far as to just make music straight through. Like Jeezy didn't have a lot of those problems, you know, so I feel like that affect him, you know, when it come down to us looking at the verses and feel like who gonna come out more successful. I feel like Jeezy, because commercially he had a little more success and for a longer amount of time. You understand?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I think that ultimately the winner is going to be the fans. Getting something like this, because this is definitely nothing that we ever thought that we would see.
Oh yeah, I swear, like a week or two ago, we was just sitting in the car and I was like, man, all the verses is cool, but I know this ain't never gonna happen. But I would love to see Gucci and Jeezy go at it, but I know that's never gonna happen. So,
You're right.
And then, you know, like a week later, I'm like, oh my god,
yeah.
Right. I was shocked. I was shocked to see it. I was talking about it earlier. Initially, it was going to be T.I. and Jeezy, and that was going to be cool. But this is much better. This is much better.
This something different.
That ain't the same.
Yeah.
This right here, man, is this something totally different, man. Like when I saw that, I just want to see them in the same room together. Like I really don't care who win the battle.
Yeah.
I just want to see them in the same room together. Like, oh my goodness, they
right. That's definitely big. They calling it the Super Bowl of the South. So I think that is appropriate. Again, how can people stay up with you as far as your music and stay in touch with you as what's going on social media?
Man, you can follow me on Instagram at who_is_BlackMagik Nard. The music page where all of the fresh content is _BlackMagik Music Group. The music is spelled with a K. I mean, the magic is spelled with a K. I'm sorry. So sometimes if you put it in, if you don't spell it with a K, it might not come up. But you can reach me on there at those links. On Twitter, I'm BlackMagik Nard on Twitter. On Facebook, Nard BlackMagik Shorty. You know, they kind of all coincide. So that's where people can find me. The music, the links and stuff is in, you know, in the bios. Window Pane is streaming on all of the platforms right now. That's the latest single I just dropped. I got another one actually dropping this Friday coming, not this Friday coming, but the 27th. You know, so it's a lot of music coming. You know, if people following, you know, definitely stay in tune. We coming, man. I know people been saying, you know, they sick of this, they tired of this. Where the real music at? Where the real? I got it. I got it.
Here we go.
Tell him that Nard said he got it. I'm holding the bag that got it.
Yeah. I mean, I do hear people talk like that. I do hear people talk like that. So that's good to know that you have the remedy.
Man, so they thirsty. Tell them, man, I got the bag with all the real rap in there. I'm coming.
Definitely. So I definitely want you to come back when the debut project drops. Definitely stay in touch with me. You got all my information. Definitely send me music and links to videos and all that kind of stuff when visuals drop.
Hey man, when you going to do the Baltimore Awards again?
That's a good question. I had to keep you posted on that.
Yeah, we try and tear that thing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Perform whatever.
I tell you what,
try and get up in there.
If you do it next year, we'll be in there because the content gonna be out.
Yeah,
so
that content gonna push us there.
Yeah.
We'll have something to pull from.
Definitely. All right. That's what's up. A lot of people are asking me about that. All right. So again, thank you guys for chopping it up with us and definitely keeping our viewers and listeners up to date with what's going on with y'all. Much continued success.
Thank you, man.
Can we drop these platform tags real quick?
Absolutely.
Right,
Go
man,
ahead.
You can follow me on Baltimore_Dev, Nappy Bed Records. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Follow me who_is_BlackMagik Nard on Instagram. That's my personal page. Follow me. Holla at me. Stay in tune.
That's what it is. He ain't shouting. Oh, I thought he was great drops up.
You hear me? Oh, yeah. Truth Up, man. Truth Up TV.
I stand in the back. We got a debut coming.
We got an interview coming, King.
Absolutely. Okay.
Let him shine.
That's what's up. Okay. All right. So I definitely want y'all to stay in touch with me. All right.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Absolutely. All right. So it's been a great show today. And as I said, we will be back tomorrow with more of the program. We're going to be talking about Jeezy and Gucci and the news of the day. Man, Diamond K, sign out. See you guys tomorrow.